Hi, I'm Jeremy McGrath. I'm an amputee. I was born missing a fibular bone in my leg. Got my leg amputated when I was 15. I've always been involved in sports since I was young, and I went on to exploring rowing, and I was lucky enough to be successful in representing Australia in the 2016 Rio Paralympic Games. Being someone who has a disability throughout the whole life, I've gone through quite a bit of different barriers in my life. When I was a teenager, going through puberty, there was a lot of self-confidence issues that I did go through, which I think everyone as a teenager experiences. But it made even more hard having a prosthetic leg. So I didn't wear shorts. I was very kind of self-conscious, and being able to go and represent Australia and get into sport and finding that identity really allowed me to kind of flourish and be more confident in myself. That was a huge kind of barrier for me, as well as access. I tend to try to push through as much as I can, but often traveling the world and going to see lots of friends, not many people have disability-specific bathrooms, and sometimes that can be a bit of a challenge for me. I'm an occupational therapist, so I don't recommend people to try to push through and do things like that, but I also am quite determined, and sometimes I feel like I push myself to do things that aren't necessarily the safest, going onto showers over bathtubs, for example. Yeah, there can be often a lot of environmental barriers out there. And yeah, sometimes I don't always plan things out as best as I can. So it can be really hard to, overcome those kind of environmental barriers as they come through in life. My experience representing Australia in the 2016 Paralympics, I was 21, so I was just filled with nerves, excitement, and I didn't know what to expect, but it was very daunting. There was years of hard challenges to get me there, ups and downs. Periods of time looked like we weren't going to get there. Honestly, just getting to the Paralympic Games in itself was a huge achievement. But I decided to become an occupational therapist pretty young. After my amputation, when I was 15, I decided I wanted to be involved in healthcare. A physiotherapist helped me out a lot with that recovery process. To be honest, at that time, I didn't really know what an occupational therapist was, like a lot of OT. But after I started with a Bachelor of Health Science, got a more understanding of allied health, and actually decided physio was no longer for me and got involved with OT because it's helping people with everyday function and helping people with everyday lives was very fulfilling for me. Like I said, I think going through my teenage years, I became very self-conscious, and really what brought that out was straight after high school, I got involved in rowing, started to get fitter, started to feel more accomplished, started to get some success. So being able to get this, and this is my recognition of being at the 2016 Paralympics, kind of really sums that up for me. I don't think I would be as confident as I am today if I didn't achieve that. And then obviously representing Australia is just an amazing thing. As a proud Australian, being able to get this pin and my number as the 1005th Paralympian to represent Australia was very special. This item makes me feel proud to be an Australian, proud to be someone with a disability. I've met so many amazing Paralympians who don't let anything get in their way. They're some of the most inspiring people I've ever met. I'm just proud to be one of those privileged Paralympians that go out there and do what we do. I've had to use bathroom aids for my whole life, even before my amputation, but very much so after my amputation. It means, obviously, I can't shower safely without it. It can be challenging at times to think ahead, especially growing up, going to friends' houses, traveling. You don't often think when you're young about what you need. It can be a big barrier. I traveled the US for 6 months just last year, and it was very hard to travel with a big shower chair, especially traveling on buses and trains. And it can be obviously really difficult to manage some of those things that obviously are hard to take along with you. This product by Ennova, I think, has been really cool in making that easier, making that transportation really convenient. So that's been a huge change. The assistive technology, I think it's emerging. I think that you can see that with Ennova. Their product is really beautiful. I like that it's easily, you can move the armrests to make more room when you need it and make those transfers easier. You've got something to hold on to and it feels quite sturdy. But that portability, being able to easily pull it apart, take it, carry it, it just makes life easier, especially when you're living a busy, hectic life. Being able to know that you can quickly take your shower chair when you need to go see parents or go see family just makes life easier. As an occupational therapist, I think Shower chairs have kind of been quite basic in their approach. They haven't really changed too much. I've been OT for 8 years. I really haven't seen much change. So it's nice to see that Ennova's taking more into account the look and portability and the function of the shower chair. So they're looking at how can we change it up and make it better and more easy in a kind of a modern life. In terms of the future of assistive technology, I think being more client-centered and hearing what people with disability want. I think, we want a product which meets our function, our needs, and improves our life, but we also want it to look nice and really kind of fit in with our lives. The accessible world looks like no matter what your disability is, that you can access and be able to complete all your daily tasks, a place where you can look after yourself at home, where you can participate just like anyone else.